kindergartners. I hope you guys are having a great day today. My name is Miss Schlor, and today we are going to be reading a book about butterflies. And over the past couple of weeks, we have been working on asking and answering questions about a text. And we've been working with storybooks, so books that are not true. Today we're going to be reading a book that is true. We're going to be learning about butterflies, and we're going to be asking and answering some questions that we have about butterflies. Before we get started, let's go ahead and read our learning target. So I'm going to read it first and do my motions that go with it. We can ask and answer questions about a text. So remember, a text is just another word for a book. So now let's read it together and do the motions. We can ask and answer questions about a text. So remember, asking, we want to use one of these words. We want to start our question with one of our question words. We have who, what, when, where, and why. And when we're answering, we just answer the question. So let's talk about our question words. Who is talking about the people. So I want you to think in your head of a question that starts with the word who. Okay, so I could have asked who went to the store. I'm asking about the people. The next question word is what. What is talking about the objects in the story. So I want you to think about a what question. Okay, my what question could be, what did you get from the store? Did you get a cupcake or did you get a swing set? What did you get? Our next question word is when. When is talking about the time. So I want you to think of a question that starts with the word when. Okay, my question that starts with the word when is, when did you go to the store? What time of day was it? When did you go to the store? Okay, our next question word is where. Where is talking about the place. Okay, I want you to think of a where question. Okay, my where question is, where was the store? Where was the store? And our last question word is why. Okay, we're asking why. Go ahead and think of a why question. Okay, my why question is, why did you go to the store? Why did you go to the store? So I asked all of these questions, who, what, when, where, why, about going to the store. But we can ask questions about the books we read too. So today we're going to ask some questions about a book about butterflies. And this book is called A Butterfly's Life Cycle. So we're going to learn all about a butterfly's life. And I want you to just look at the cover, think about a butterfly, and think of a question that you have about butterflies. Think of a question you have about butterflies. Remember, your question word starts with one of these words. Okay, hopefully you were able to think of one or two questions you have about butterflies. I also have a question, and my question is, what do butterflies eat? What do butterflies eat? So hopefully, as we're reading this story, we'll be able to answer some of the questions that we asked. And I'm trying to find out, what do butterflies eat? Remember, we read books so we can learn things and answer our questions. So that's why we're practicing asking and answering, because it's important for us to be able to ask some questions and then read in the book to find out the answers. So let's go ahead and read A Butterfly's Life Cycle and try and figure out some answers to those questions. Life in an egg. A female monarch butterfly floats in the air. She is looking for a special plant. At last, she finds a milkweed plant and lays her eggs. Caterpillars hatch from the eggs in about 1 week. These little critters eat their way out of the egg using their strong jaws. So these are baby caterpillars. Hungry caterpillars. Ooh, my question was, what do butterflies eat? But I could also find out, what do caterpillars eat too? And this says hungry caterpillars, so it must be talking about what they eat. So let's see if we can answer our question. Hungry caterpillars eat milkweed leaves. They eat until their skin gets too tight. Pop! They molt or shed their old skins. Underneath is a new, larger skin. So it just told us the answer to our question. What do caterpillars eat? Ooh, think in your head. Caterpillars eat leaves. A caterpillar sheds its skin 4 or 5 times. The caterpillar hangs upside down from a leaf. It sheds its skin 1 more time. The new layer is called a pupa or a chrysalis. So a butterfly stays in this new kind of home called a pupa. Inside a pupa. The pupa hardens as it dries. Inside the pupa, a caterpillar's body changes. After about 2 weeks, the pupa cracks open. A butterfly pulls itself out of the pupa. Its body is wet and folded. Its wings slowly open and dry in the sun. So inside the new home, the caterpillar changes into a butterfly. Life as a butterfly. All summer, the monarch flies from flower to flower. It unrolls its long tongue to eat. The monarch sucks nectar from the flowers. Yum! So our question was, what do butterflies eat? And it just told us the answer. Think in your head. Butterflies eat nectar from flowers. They have a special tongue that rolls out and can suck the nectar out of flowers. Days get shorter, the weather gets cooler. Monarch butterflies know it is time for the long flight south. They rest in trees along the way. In spring, the sun warms the butterflies. Most fly north. The females lay eggs, caterpillars hatch and molt, and from a pupa comes a butterfly. So we can see the whole life cycle right here. The butterfly flies north. It lays its egg on a milkweed plant. Then out comes a caterpillar. The caterpillar finds a place to build its pupa. And then the caterpillar hatches from the pupa and creates another butterfly. And that is the end of a butterfly's life cycle. So hopefully you were able to answer one of the questions that you asked. Remember, I asked, what do butterflies eat? I also thought of another question, what do caterpillars eat? And then I have a new question for us to think about. Where do caterpillars change? So what is that home called? Where do caterpillars change? And while you think about that, I'm going to take off our chart right here. And underneath, I have some special words that we are practicing. And these words are caterpillar and butterfly. And then we have the word eat and live. And we're going to do a special activity and we're going to practice writing some sentences to answer the questions we had. So we're going to do the first one together. My question is, what do caterpillars eat? So we need to build a sentence for this. So I want you to think of the answer in your head and then we'll write it. What do caterpillars eat? So our answer is caterpillars eat leaves. Caterpillars eat leaves. So just like we practiced yesterday, we want to say that sentence on our fingers to figure out how many words we need. Caterpillars eat leaves. We need 3 lines. Caterpillars eat leaves. And a period at the end that tells us to stop. Now we want to write our sentence. I wrote caterpillars and butterflies and eat and live on our board to help us write. It's like our word wall. So, caterpillars. We have the word caterpillar right there, so we can write it together. You write with me. Remember, we always want to start our sentence with a capital letter. So, capital C. And then let's write it. And as you can see, my word kind of went past the line, and that's okay. We can just fix that in a little bit. We can make our line bigger and then add a space, because remember, we need finger spaces between our words so we know where the word ends. So caterpillars eat, and I have the word eat on our board right here, eat. So we want to write that word. Go ahead and write it with me. Caterpillars eat leaves. And I did not write the word leaves on our board, so we're going to have to sound it out. And this is not a word that we can tap out. It's a word that we want to say very slowly so we can hear all the sounds and write those sounds down. Leaves, leaves. Think about those sounds. Leaves. Ooh, I hear the letter L. I hear the letter E. Leaves. Leaves. Ooh, I hear the letter V. Leaves. Z. Ooh, the last sound I hear is a Z. Leaves. I think those are all the sounds that I hear, so I'm going to stop. Caterpillars eat leaves. We wrote the answer to our question. We're going to do one more together, and we're going to start it off, and then you're going to try it on your own. So the other question that I had was, what do butterflies eat? What do butterflies eat? So think of your answer. Now let's say it on our fingers. Butterflies eat nectar. Butterflies eat nectar. So we need 3 lines. Butterflies eat nectar, and a period at the end that tells us to stop. Now, I want you to try and write it on your own. Our word butterfly and eat is already there for you, and then you're going to have to stretch out the last word, nectar. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to try it on your own. Butterflies eat nectar. Okay, now let's write our word together, our sentence together. Butterflies eat nectar. I have the word butterfly right there, so all we have to do is copy that word. We're going to start our sentence with the capital letter. Butterflies eat. I remember writing the word eat right here, so I kind of already know how to write it. Eat. Butterflies eat nectar. And we said the word nectar is the one that we have to stretch out and say it very slowly. Nectar. Nectar. It starts with the sound, the letter N. Neck. Neck. Nectar. Nectar. I think that's all the sounds I hear. Nectar. So I'm going to stop. So there's our sentence. Let's go ahead and read it. Fingers, and each word gets 1 point and we hop over the space. Butterflies eat nectar. We answer our question. What do butterflies eat? Butterflies eat nectar. Amazing job, my friends. If you had a different question than me and you want to write the answer to it, go ahead and do that when the video is over. Do the same thing we just practiced. Think of your answer, say it on your fingers, draw your lines, and then start writing your words so you can ask and answer the questions on your writing. I hope you guys have a great day and learn lots about our butterflies. If you go outside today, see if you can find a butterfly outside. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Hi, boys and girls. My name is Ms. Zhang, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Silver Lake Elementary School here in Federal Way. So I'm really excited to be doing a kindergarten math lesson with you all. So thank you for joining me, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, boys and girls, let's get started with our calendar talk for today. Just like we always do at the beginning of our lessons. All right, so who knows what our month is? We are still in the same month as yesterday, and this whole week we are still in the same month. It is one of our summer months here in Washington. It is July, so we are still on July, or in July. And then yesterday was the 22nd of July. What number comes after 22? 23. And so how we say that is it is the 23rd. 23rd. So 23rd of July. And then if we follow our marker or our column on our calendar all the way up, we'll see our day of the week. And it begins with that TH. So who knows what day of the week starts with that TH sound, that th sound? It is Thursday. Yeah, I can't just say it's the only one that starts with a T because we have 2 days of the week that start with a T, but it starts with a TH and makes that th sound. So it's Thursday. And if you look right before it, that was yesterday, it was Wednesday. And then if you look right behind it, or right after it, tomorrow is going to be what? It's one of my favorite days of the week. It is for Friday. So tomorrow is Friday. Today, though, let's say our full day or full date. It is Thursday, July 23rd. Thursday, July 23rd. All right, thank you for following along with our calendar talk today. All right, before our lesson, I wanted to do a little mini activity like sometimes we do. And for this one, I actually recruited my friend's dog, and her name is Lilo, and we play fetch. And so I have a video of us playing fetch, and what I want you to do is to count how many times she's able to catch the ball, or how many times she's able to bring it back to me, and retrieve the ball and bring it back to me. Okay, so the video is a little sped up because it would be a little too long if it wasn't, but it's still slow enough that you can count it. So as she is going after the ball and fetching it and bringing it back, count how many times she does this. Okay, all right. Let's start the video and start counting. All right, how many times did Lilo catch the ball? I counted 17 times. She's so great at playing fetch. Were you able to count all 17 that she was able to catch and bring it back to me? All right, thank you for playing along with our little mini game, and let's get into our lesson this time. Okay, so let's get started with our math lesson for today. I'm going to share my screen so we can go over our learning target, and you'll see it in just 1 second. All right, so please follow along with me or read it with me. Our learning target: I can count a group and match it with another group that has an equal amount. All right, so we're going to be doing a little bit of an activity. It's a little bit different. We've been matching numbers and numbers of objects or groups of objects to a number, but today we're going to be matching up groups of objects with each other that have the same amount. So that's what equal means down here, equal. Maybe you've also seen that symbol before when we're doing math problems. But we're matching up groups that have an equal amount. So for example, if you see, let's do 1, 2, 3, you see a group of 3 like that, you're gonna be looking for another group of 3 like this maybe, or it could be in a different orientation. It could be a group of 3 that's just going straight up and down like that. So then those two groups are matches, okay? Let's do another example. So here's another example I have for you. So we have a group of dots over here, a group of dots, and how many groups of dots, or how many dots are in this group? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 in that group, right? And then over here we have a 10 frame. And how many dots are in our 10 frame in this picture? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's an example of two groups that have an equal amount of things in them, an equal amount of dots. In this case, they were both dots. Later on in other examples, it might be different items, more shapes. I have some shapes, I have some objects, and then I also, of course, I do have some dots, okay? So you're just gonna be trying to find equal, or trying to find two groups that are equal, the same, or have the same amount, okay? And there's gonna be some examples that have the number. So you're gonna have maybe, for example, a 5. And so you're gonna have to find a group that has 5 objects in it, very similar to what we did in the previous lessons, okay? So that was our first example, or I guess that was 2 examples at this point, but this is kind of what you're gonna be doing. So when you see our screen soon, you're going to be looking through and seeing if you can find 2 groups that have the same amount of things in them, okay? So that's going to require you to count. So hopefully I'll give you enough time for you to do it and find a group, and then we can check with each other to see if we got them correct, okay? So I'm actually going to set myself a little timer so I know how much time I'm giving you to look for matching groups. All right, so let's go ahead. Here is our first set of items, and there's a bunch of fun shapes. We have some triangles, if you remember, and some squares, if you remember those, and circles, and then some weird fun shape there. All right, so take some time and see if, oops, pretend I didn't erase all of that. Take some time and see if you can find a matching group between these 4 groups. Yeah, maybe you were really quick and you could see them really right away. So just keep them in your head if you see them. All right, so the matching groups in this page that we have, it was the triangles and the circles. All right, both the triangles and the circles have how many in them? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. They both have 4, so there's a match right there. All right, were you able to find that? Were you able to see that super quickly? Awesome job. All right, and then the other groups, this one had 5, which is not where we did not have a match, and this one had 3, which was not a match. All right, nice job. Let's do another round. All right, this time we have still some more shapes. See if you can find a match among these shapes. And I'll give you some time to do that as well. All right, were you able to find a match? I saw one match in here, okay? And the match that I found, and hopefully you found as well, I saw these rectangles and these ovals. They both have the same amount. And in fact, how many did they have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one had 6. I'm going to put a 6 down there actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They both had 6 items in their groups. Whereas this shape down here, up here, is actually called a trapezoid. There were only 3 of those. And then this is kind of like a diamond / rhombus. And there were 5 of these. So those, again, did not have matches. All right, how'd you do that round? Did you find the groups? Did you match them up? Were you faster? Did I give you too much time? Maybe did I not give you enough time? It's okay. Let's see with this next round. Okay, so this one I switched it up a little bit. We have some 10 frames, we have some unicorns, we have some smiley faces, and we have a number. All right, so find which items match up together. Which ones are the same amounts? Go ahead and go.
Should I make my parents like go buy her and then they'll fall in love with her and go adopt her?
All right, did you find a group? Did you find a matching group with the same number of things in it? All right, so this one was a little different because actually the matching groups were the number 5 and unicorns, because there are actually 5 unicorns in this picture. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. And that matches with the number 5 because the number 5 it just represents 5. So, and then in our 10 frame, we had 1, 2, 3. And then our smiley faces, there were actually 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 smiley faces. All right, nice job if you're able to find the matching pair in this group. All right, I believe we have one more, okay? So same deal as before, find the matching pairs with the same amount of things. Go ahead and go. All right, were you able to find a matching pair in this set? Let's see. So we had a number. This number, in fact, was 6. We had some bananas and we had a 10 frame and we had some triangles. All right, so the matching pair in this page was the bananas and this 10 frame, because how many were in each both? Which were in each both? How many were in each group? They both had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 bananas, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 dots in that 10 frame. So again, there was the 6, and then we had those triangles, and there were actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there were 5 in that group. All right, nice job. I believe that's the last one. Yep, that was the last page that we have. I just want to go back to our learning target really quickly just to readdress it. It says, I can count a group and match it with another group that has an equal amount. So throughout this entire activity, we were doing that. We were matching groups together that had the same amount. So if you were able to follow along and participate and do this activity, then you met our learning target for today. So awesome job. All right, thank you so much for doing this activity with me and following along with our lesson for today. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope to see you next week for some more math lessons. All right, bye everyone.
están? Bienvenidos a nuestra última clase de esta semana. Solo de esta semana, volvemos la próxima. Vamos a comenzar como todos los días con nuestro calendario para saber y estar informados de qué día es hoy, en qué mes estamos y en qué año estamos. Así que, ¿listos? No lo olviden, necesitamos papel y lápiz para repasar nuestros números mientras vamos aprendiendo nuestra clase, ¿ok? Los espero, vayan a buscar papel y lápiz. ¿Listas y listos para comenzar? Entonces aquí vamos. Como ya hemos visto todos estos días, todavía estamos en el mes de julio del año 2020, ¿cierto? Ayer fue nuestra tercera clase, día miércoles. Y si ayer fue miércoles, hoy es jueves. Excelente. Y mañana, viernes, no tenemos clase. Ayer fue miércoles 22 de julio. Por lo tanto, 22, le agregamos un día más. ¿Cuántos serán? 22 más 1, 23. Muy bien. Hoy es jueves 23 de julio, pero necesitamos saber si utilizamos nuestro cangrejo, nuestro pez o delfín. Para eso necesitamos seguir nuestra secuencia. Las secuencias son cuando seguimos siempre el mismo patrón de forma repetitiva. Siempre lo mismo. ¿Están listos para ayudarme? Comencemos. Pez, cangrejo, delfín. 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 Pez. ¿Cuál vendrá ahora? Cangrejo, muy bien. Ponemos nuestro cangrejo del día 23. Y ahora sí está completo nuestro calendario. Hoy es jueves 23 de julio del 2020. Bienvenidos a nuestro cuarto día de aprendizaje. ¿Recuerdan qué significaba cuarto? Viene del número 4 porque es nuestro cuarto día. Comenzamos lunes, martes, miércoles y hoy es jueves, nuestro cuarto día. Ayer aprendimos a contar hasta el número 15, ¿recuerdan? Para poder responder la pregunta de cuántos hay en cada grupo. Contamos objetos hasta el número 15 que estaban en diferente orden. Y recuerda que utilizamos animalitos el día de ayer. Ajá, pájaros, habían caballos, cebras. Y estábamos contando y poniendo el número en cada objeto para no equivocarnos. ¿Recuerdan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 y 15 pajaritos habían en este lugar. Hoy vamos a ver qué es lo que vamos a aprender. Nuestra meta de hoy es que podremos contestar la misma pregunta. ¿Cuál era? ¿Cuántas o cuántos hay? Luego de contar objetos, pero esta vez es hasta el 20. ¿Están listos? 5, 10, 15, 20. O también podemos decir 10 y 10 porque es 20. Hasta el número 20. Podremos contar objetos que también estén en distinto orden hasta llegar al número 20. ¿Vamos a lograr la meta? ¿Qué creen ustedes? Yo creo que sí. Veamos cuál es nuestra primera actividad del día de hoy. Hoy nos toca frutas y vamos a empezar con estos ricos plátanos. Nos está preguntando cuántos plátanos hay en este conjunto y nos está dando 3 opciones. La opción número 1 dice 14 plátanos. La opción número 2 dice 17 plátanos y la opción número 3 dice 19 plátanos. ¿Cuál creen ustedes que será la opción correcta? Pensemos, ¿cómo podríamos saberlo? Podemos contarlos, ¿cierto? Vamos a cambiar nuestro lápiz y vamos a contarlos. Pero esta vez, en vez de escribir el número encima de cada uno, porque son bastantes, solo los vamos a marcar para no olvidar que ya los contamos y no los contemos 2 veces. ¿Listos? Y vamos. Escribo mi lápiz. No sé qué pasó con nuestro lápiz que se nos cambió. Aquí vamos. Ahora sí, ¿listos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, ahí está el 14, pero todavía nos quedan 15, 16 y 17. ¿Cuál es el número 17? ¿Este o este? ¿Cuál creen ustedes? Exactamente, hay 17 plátanos en este conjunto. Entonces leemos nuestra pregunta. ¿Recuerdan? Yo leo y ustedes escuchan y después leemos todos juntos. Excelente, dice así. ¿Cuántos plátanos hay? Ahora ustedes conmigo. ¿Cuántos plátanos hay? Muy bien. Y la respuesta contestamos con la misma palabra que está en la pregunta. Hay, vamos a escribir 17 plátanos en total. Muy bien. Ahora ustedes escriban 17 en su hoja. El 1 y el 7. 17. Muy bien. Nuestra siguiente actividad dice así, tenemos que, ahora en vez de contar, tenemos que agregar la cantidad que nos está pidiendo y nos está pidiendo que tengamos 19 manzanas y acá hace una deliciosa manzana roja para que me ayuden a contar hasta llegar al 19. ¿Listas y listos? Aquí vamos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 y 19. Uf, muchos números. Y ahora, siempre lo que yo hago es volver a contar para estar segura de no haberme equivocado. ¿Recuerdan que antes escribíamos cada número en cada objeto? Ahora ya no es necesario porque ya sabemos cómo hacerlo. Solo los vamos a marcar para no contarlos dos veces. ¿Listos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, igual que nuestro número de acá, 19 manzanas. Voy a leer la pregunta y ustedes van a escuchar y después vamos a leer todos juntos. ¿Listos? Aquí vamos. Yo primero dice, ¿cuántas manzanas hay? Ahora todos juntos. ¿Cuántas manzanas hay? Ahora la respuesta. Hay, vamos a escribir el número 19, 19 manzanas en total. ¿Están listos? Tomen su lápiz y quiero que escriban en su cuaderno el número 19. Primero el 1, 1, y el 9, 19. Buen trabajo. ¿Listos? ¿Cómo les quedó el 19? Perfecto. Nuestra siguiente actividad. ¡Wow! Miren todos estos racimos de uva. ¡Qué delicia! ¿Cuántos racimos de uvas ustedes creen que hay? No vamos a contar cada uva, vamos a contar el racimo completo como uno. Y vamos a ir escribiendo el número. ¿Están listos? Ayúdenme a escribir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, son muchas uvas. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Vamos a correr esto un poquito. 15, 16, ups, nos quedó un poquito. 16, 17, 18, ya casi terminamos. 19 y 20 racimos de uva. Buen trabajo. Cada uno tiene su propio número y sabemos que hay 20 en total. Y nuestra pregunta dice así, recuerden, yo leo y ustedes escuchan y luego leemos todos juntos. ¿Listos? Dice, ¿cuántos racimos de uvas hay? Ahora ustedes conmigo. ¿Cuántos racimos de uvas hay? ¿Y cuántos habían en total? ¿Recuerdan? Hay, ayúdenme a escribir, 20 racimos de uva en total. Pongan su dedito en el aire y escribimos el número 20, el 2 y el 0. Ahora ustedes en su cuaderno con su lápiz escriban el número 20, 2 y 0. 20. ¿Qué nos corresponde hacer ahora? ¡Oh! Nuestro descanso, nuestra adivinanza del día. ¿Están listos? Recuerden, yo leo, ustedes escuchan y después leemos todos juntos nuestra adivinanza del día. Dice así. Recuerden que eran animales esta semana. Adivinanza del día. Wow, de noche. Wow, de día. Caso y ladro. ¿Quién sería? ¿Quién soy? Dice por ahí. ¿Listos? Ahora leemos todos juntos. Adivinanza del día. Wow, de noche. Wow, de día. Caso y ladro. ¿Quién sería? ¿Quién soy? ¿Qué animalito podría ser? ¿Ya lo saben? Vamos a mover la estrellita para ver qué animalito es. Tu, 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 tu. Estaban en lo correcto, es el perrito. Y recuerdan, el perrito es mi animal favorito. Ahí está, nuestro perrito es el que hace guau, guau. Ahora, en esta actividad nos están pidiendo que tenemos que conectar nuestro conjunto con el número indicado. Nuestros números nos dicen 18, 16 y 19. Por lo tanto, vamos a contar y ver cuántas peras hay en el primero. ¿Están listos? Los vamos a ir marcando. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hay 16 peras en este conjunto. Por lo tanto, lo vamos a conectar con el número 16. Buen trabajo, chicas y chicos. Ahora la sandía, que también es una de mis frutas favoritas. Me encanta y a mi hijo también. Las vamos a contar. ¿Listos? Ayúdenme a contar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 sandías. ¿Cuál será el número 19? ¿El 1 y el 8 o el 1 y el 9? 19. El número lo dice, va con un 9. Excelente, solo nos queda una opción, pero de todas formas la vamos a contar y es una deliciosa piña. ¿Listos para contar las piñas? Ayúdenme. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 y 18. Y la única opción que nos queda es el 18. Ups, no me quedo muy derechita ahí. Sí, 18 piñas en total. ¿Tenemos alguna otra actividad? Oh, no, ya llegó la hora de despedirnos. Trabajando se nos pasa el tiempo muy rápido, ¿cierto? Y nuestra pregunta de siempre es, ¿qué aprendimos hoy? ¿Qué creen ustedes que aprendieron hoy? Cuéntenme. Hoy aprendimos a contar hasta el número, ¿qué número? 20, el 2 y el 0, que es el 20, para saber cuántos objetos hay cada vez que contamos. Y dijimos que contamos objetos en distinto orden hasta el número 20. A veces están ordenados en círculos, en filas, en columnas, pero aún así contamos la misma cantidad, sin importar el orden, ¿cierto? Ha sido una semana excelente, llena de aprendizajes. Y la próxima semana tendremos otra semana muy entretenida de matemáticas, así que los espero el lunes y espero que tengan un hermoso fin de semana, disfruten con su familia y nos vemos el lunes. Adiós, chao.